I had a 10-minute conversation with him yesterday about Star Wars.
Oh my gosh, that's like his favorite subject.
I can tell.
And that's another thing about this company, you guys. If you ever want to have a conversation with, when you're in other companies and with certain people, you just don't talk to them. Like, you don't talk to those people. Not here. You talk to anybody. Like, you can walk into Todd's office and be like, you got a minute? And if he's got a minute, he'll talk to you. He'll answer your questions. He will help you. That's
What's
just
his title in the company?
he's just a team.
Oh,
He runs the 808 team. He's a
okay,
rainmaker.
okay, that's.
Yeah. No title. You just call him Todd. Okay, so back to the dollars. So the $2.90. Do you guys know what that's based on?
$2.90 for taxes.
Yes.
For
So it's per $1,000 of assessed value. Okay? For $1,000 of assessed value. So if you got a property that's assessed at $500,000, you're paying $290 times 500 as a homeowner. Make sense? Okay.
Mill rate, yeah.
Hmm?
They call it the mill rate.
Yes, we don't use that term so much in Hawaii. We use that a lot in California, but we don't really use it here. Interesting thing, if you qualify for the homeowner's exemption, do you guys know what that does?
Oh, yeah, you get exempted for a certain amount as a single person or a married couple, so they take off like, I forget what it is in Hawaii, like, yeah,
200,000.
Yeah.
The exemption is 200,000. So now I'm paying $290 not on 500,000 but on 300,000. So I'm paying 300 times $2.90. Make sense? Okay.
Can you
So-
apply for that right while you're going through the escrow so that?
So
it
taxes
goes
here are like taxes everywhere. They're super fast to raise them and super slow to lower them. So just make sure somebody, like, you'll get someone who'll be like, I'm gonna move to the islands. And they'll go, okay, so I'm gonna move to the island. Oh, great, so I'm gonna pay $2.90. Hold on. So let's say they buy something that's already taxed as a residential, or let's say they're buying something that's actually taxed as short-term rental. Notice the bottom one, $10.75. Short-term rental, that's your vacation rentals, right? Totally different. So if I'm a homeowner and I buy a $10.75 tax property, I gotta move here, I gotta file taxes, I gotta take those taxes I filed into the county, I gotta get approved, and then I get my exemption. It's an 18-month process, so just be careful what you guarantee there. But FYI, that's what all those fund taxes are, and those do change, but these are the current tax rates. So I wanna make sure you guys had those. That's the end there. Page, or tab 6, do you guys have any questions about those stats? I always wanna have updated stats on you so you've got them. All right, so open house checklist is under number 6, right? This is just a checklist for open houses. It's very basic. Definitely take Lee's class. All right, 7, 8, and 9. We already went through 9. That's the before you write an offer. So now you guys know what's in your notebook. I'll leave you lots of tabs to put in other stuff that you're gonna wanna do, take contracts classes or whatever. Take that notebook with you. Let that notebook be your Bible. Cool? It's only 1 inches though. Don't make it thicker than 1 inches. They start to get heavy after a while. All right. So we went through the training calendar. So it's Central, C, South, S, and West for W, just so you guys know. All right. So Keller Williams is like drinking from a fire hose. And what you don't want to be doing is 6 months from now still taking classes every day. Because you saw the calendar. You could take classes every day. But you got to balance, right? So educate yourself heavy in the beginning because you don't know anything yet, right? So you're learning. You know some things, but so educate yourself heavy in the beginning, then you start to taper off and you start working on those 10-4 activities. Remember that? Those are important. All right, so I just like to explain that the term realtor, okay, realtor, not realtor. It's like calling yourself a docketor. It's somebody. It's because it's real estate, so people say realtor. Anyway, realtor is actually a trademark for the Realtors Association. So when you use that term, you have to be careful. Like, you are a realtor, but realtor actually means member. Okay? It does not mean real estate agent. People use it interchangeably all the time. So just want to be aware of that.
But you are once you join RAMP.
Once you join NA, yeah, because once you join RAM, you're a member of NAR and you're a realtor. Yes, but you're a member is what you are. You're also a real estate agent. just like people to be aware.
Is that why there's like an R at the end of your name, and some people
Trademark.
don't have that R? Okay.
Yes, and when you actually use the term realtor, you're supposed to have the registered trademark right next to it. Yeah.
So that means you're a member.
Absolutely, it's registered, so just so you know.
Yeah.
I like people to be aware. It's your job title, so you should know, right? All right, so I introduce you to me, Marion, Keone, and Dan are our other productivity coaches. You guys will meet them. Michelle Del Rosario is our principal broker. So I want to explain to you the difference between a BIC or a BIC, which is a broker in charge, and a principal broker. So Michelle Del Rosario is everyone's principal broker, okay? She is the compliance person for our office. She's the one who has the straight line with Hawaii Association of Realtors to get legal info to our lawyers, all that stuff, right? She's the one who deals with all that stuff. But you're also gonna have a broker in charge who is basically your contract review broker, okay? Call him your BIC, your BIC. Probably not gonna be Michelle. If you guys are in the south, it's probably going to be Dan. If you're up in west, it is probably gonna be Derek. And if you're in Kahului, it's probably gonna be Keone. But you're gonna have, that's your broker who reviews all your documents have to be reviewed, signed off by your, not everything, majority of them, especially purchase contracts and listing agreements. But Michelle is like, she's oversees the brokers. So the one thing you need to know with her is any marketing that you are doing, you have to run through Michelle. Because we have a lot of compliance rules as real estate agents as to what we can and cannot do in marketing. Like there's certain sizes of logos and all that kind of stuff. So you need to run your marketing through her. You also have to talk to her if you're gonna do any discounted commissions. That's just something that you have to do and your broker will let you know that. So that's who she is. We talked about Sam, she's agent services. And you guys all know Lisa Deichner, yes? Has everyone met Lisa?
Yeah.
Jordan, have you know, oh, because Marion signed you on, right? That's right, okay. All right. Okay, so what is your number one job right now? I am tired of reading. Will you read that to me?
Show up to trainings
There you
on
go.
time and be willing to learn.
Yes, I like that. Read the next one for me.
Ask questions when you don't understand.
Yes, there's only one stupid question, and it's the question that goes unasked. Truly. Okay? Make sense? All right, read that.
Well, I have a
Yes.
question then.
Yes.
You keep talking about caravans, when are those?
Yes, okay, so caravan schedule, this
I
is,
didn't-
thank
I
you
didn't
for
see that on
asking.
there.
It
Okay.
is not on there, so caravan schedule, you're gonna find it on your RAM, so your MLS login, you can click caravan. But because I have a relationship with Fidelity, I have their app, and I can just pull up the caravan schedule. So it's Tuesdays are Kihei, or South, so it's, what they'll do is they'll like rotate every 3 weeks, so it'll be North Kihei 1 week, then it'll be South Kihei, then it'll be Wailea and McKenna, right? So they'll alternate it. I wanna say it's Tuesday here, I think West Side is Wednesday, and I think Upcountry and Town is Thursdays. Never Mondays or Fridays, cause it tends to be a holiday. Yeah,
Now, is it only
So-
Keller Williams agents or is it?
No.
other agents? Okay.
so, good question. Caravan is every agent on the island that wants to sell you their listing and everybody who's looking for buyers, right? As well as all the outside marketing people that want you to use their services. So your title and escrow, you go to Kihei, you're gonna meet the stager, I can never remember her name. The stager lady, you're gonna meet the pressure washing guy, clean up your property before you list it. Yeah, so you're gonna meet all these people, but you're also gonna have, so what will usually happen at Caravan, and I'm not knowing it being any different, but everybody's sitting in a big circle, and they'll go through the listings that are actually on the Caravan, right? And they'll say, okay, this person will stand up and pitch their listing. Oh, this is a great property because blah, 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 blah. And then the next person and they'll go through and list. Then they'll go around the room and everybody gets to introduce themselves. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. You're like, 30
Or less.
seconds! These people are rambling on. You're like, stop talking, you have 30 seconds to tell me about your company. Shush. No, I jest. But, so everybody's gonna be able to introduce themselves. First time you go to Caravan, you always wanna let people know it's your first time at Caravan. And then what happens at the end is everybody jumps in a car, and there's always gonna be one person who's the sponsor. And usually, sometimes there's two companies. So it may be an escrow company, it may be a lender. Sometimes lenders will come out and do certain months or whatever. Then everybody gets in cars, I'll go see all the properties. You don't have to see them all. Sometimes there's 20 properties and you're like, okay, I wanna see that, I wanna see that, I wanna see that. But you can also get in cars with people. And by the way, you can get in cars with anybody. Like, no stranger danger, it's okay. You can get in cars with people from other companies. You are allowed to do that. Like, don't think there's like, you're like, I have to go in that Keller Williams car. You don't have to do that. Like, get to know these people.
Yeah, never.
Because then when you go and you write an offer on their property, they're like, oh, I know Marcus, he's a cool dude. Okay, I want to work with Marcus, right? Like, you want to get to know these agents. Get to know them. Say hi, introduce yourself. So then you're going to go around, you're going to check out the properties. You're going to walk in. Some of them are going to be like, you know, you can win a gift card to, I don't know, Lowe's for $100. And there's a drawing and there's other stuff in place. Huh?
No, they're like, come in my car.
Yeah. So you go to the properties. A lot of them ask for feedback. What do you think of the pricing? You guys are gonna be new. You're like, I don't know what price this is. Just cheat. Look at the other people's sheets and write what they do. That's what I used to do. Anyway. Or even ask the agent. Sometimes I'm like, do you want me to write a specific price? Because they may be looking for a reduction from their seller because they think it's too high. So they're like, let's check with the brokers and see what they think when we do brokers open house, right? Brokers caravan. So sometimes I'm like, what do you want me to put? Help them out, right? Why not? So that's caravan. Does that make sense? Yes.
So with caravan, it's just people who are having open houses, so is there
Brokers open.
brokers open?
Correct.
So there are properties out there for sale that aren't, you know,
Well,
not all of them have open houses. Some of them you've seen listed for a while and
Right.
you're like,
So
how do you
there's
get to see
rules.
those?
In order to be considered on the caravan sheet,
Mhm.
you have to be a new listing. So you haven't been in caravan before, or you have to have a price reduction. There has to be reasons.
Oh,
Like, it's not just every property that's listed
uh,
every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it changes.
so it has to be, okay, new property or,
Yeah.
okay.
So people are like, I got a new listing, and here it is, and come check it out, and then pitch
So,
it.
so how would we go and look at listings that have maybe been on the market for a while?
So, good
and-
question. Here is what I recommend that you do. A lot of agents on this island like to be there for showings. So if it's a vacant property and it's on lockbox, just go check it out. You know, they're like, you text for the code, say, I'm Keller Williams, I'm Christine Keller Williams, can I get the lockbox code on this? Sure, no problem. It'll say in the realtor remarks what you need to do to see it. But if the realtor needs to be present, what you wanna do is you wanna call them up and say, hey, I wanna preview your property. When's your next showing that I can piggyback on? Don't make someone come for a showing if it's just you, unless you actually have a buyer for that property. Like, I've done that before. I'd be like, I'm gonna go take pictures for my buyer. He's not here, but I wanna see the property. I'll take videos, pictures, load it up on a Google Drive. Make sense?
Is there a certain rule that if you wanna go look at a property and it's actually for you or a family member, you have to say, I'm
Not that
looking,
I'm aware of.
I thought they said like, if you are going to, go look at a property and you have to let the other agent know, or maybe let the buyer know that you're like, hey, this is for me, I'm looking at this for me
Oh, you
or
can
a
tell
family
them.
member. I thought you had to like,
Are you talking about open house? So when you go into an open
Uh-huh.
house, you need to tell them you're an agent.
yes, I know that, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with that.
Maybe when you're selling.
Yeah, when
for
you're
a
actually doing the
relative.
paperwork or
Oh,
something.
okay. If you
have to-
list your own property, it has to be
Yeah.
disclosed that the agent has an interest in the property,
Oh.
yes.
But buying?
No.
What if you're representing yourself? You're gonna tell that other agent that the seller, if I'm the buyer agent, but I'm the buyer.
Yeah.
Don't I have to say, hey, I'm the buyer?
When you write the purchase contract, it's gonna be your name on there.
Oh, so it's nothing you have to
You
disclose
could be like
openly.
agents representing himself. They're gonna know. You're gonna have a conversation anyway.
Okay,
But I think it's the seller that's more, if the seller has interest, but I'm not sure on that, on a purchase.
yeah, I don't know, I
It's
thought.
an interesting question.
Okay.
All right, so, participate at a high level and begin reaching out to your database. That's that 10-4 we were talking about, right? Okay, so I wanna talk to you guys a little bit about the difference between coaching and training. Have any of you ever had a coach in business before? Okay. Semi.
Yeah.
Tell me. Fill me in.
They say they are, but you know.
Not real. They're not.
Yeah.
They were just not very good.
Yeah. Or you know.
Gotcha. Okay. So has anybody ever had a coach in like sports? Okay. Have you ever heard of coaching anyway?
Well,
Christina?
coming from Sephora, which is corporate based,
Yes.
our coaches were, so as a store director, I had a district manager, which was my coach. But there was trainers, education trainers that were
Okay.
separate. They lined up together, but they were different job tasks. I
Got
would
it.
reach out for different things with either my district manager or my education manager.
Got it.
Same
Depending on what it
level,
is.
but two
Okay.
different.
So we want your coach to be your first point of contact, but what I want you guys to understand is in the beginning, you're gonna be doing more of this because you don't know what to do, right? You don't actually know the steps or activities or, right? Coaching is more affecting how are you to your standards that you set for yourself? How are you doing to what you need to be functioning with within your real estate business, right? How are your calls going? Are you making your calls? What do you need to be held accountable for, right? Those are the questions that coaches are gonna ask. Training is more, and it's interesting when you talk about sports, anybody ever have like an awesome coach in sports and you're like, oh my gosh, did that person affect your life as well as your sporting?
To this day, he still affects my life.
That's usually a great coach, and honestly in sports, that's a coach. Everyone else is usually a trainer. They're teaching you fundamentals, right? The coach is the person who actually teaches you things that change your life, right? That's the difference between coaching and training. So, trainers transfer knowledge, kind of like we're doing today. Focus on how to do a skill, often in group setting, formal, learning focus, depends on telling. Follow the show me, tell me, test me model. Usually no follow accountability. And training typically walks someone through a specific process to get a result on a specific item or task. Make sense? That's training, right? Right now, what you guys need is training because you've got to know what the job is, right? So here's kind of the way I put it. Think of a coach. Like, a coach is going to tell you what to do and you're going to do it. Especially before you have enough training to be like, okay, now I want to start setting the rules and having you keep me accountable to the rules, right? So coaching enhances knowledge, focuses on what to do with a skill, right? Usually one-on-one, conversational, development focus, depends on asking. It's a lot about asking questions and finding out. Focuses on improved behavior and performance, facilitates central thinking and decision-making, and coaching is an ongoing activity designed to help maximize business and achieve potential through accountability. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Any clarity needed around that? Okay. So initially, your coaches are going to do a lot of training with you because you don't know, right? You got to know. It's like, give me the tools, train me, and then it starts transitioning into actual coaching. Awesome. Okay. What coaching resources do you have access to? So there's a shared Google Drive with everything you need to conduct your real estate business. It's massive, it's huge. You're going to go in there and be like, I have a buyer, and there's going to be a buyer tab, and it's going to have all kinds of stuff. I have a open house, and here's going to be a template for a flyer and all kinds of stuff. We're actually building the drive, so if you find there's something not in there you need, reach out to your coach and say, I need X, and I didn't find it in the drive. Because we're keeping like a, what do we need to be adding, right? Again, we don't know what's needed until we're told what's needed, so share with us. Monday morning Jumpstart Zoom calls. So every Monday morning we start your week off at 9 a.m. with a Jumpstart Zoom call. So this month our topic is open houses. So like last week I went over collateral. What do you really need at your open houses? Next Monday, Keoni's going to be doing it, and it's going to be about what scripts do I use at open houses? How do I actually get an appointment out of an open house? So guys, I did 98 open houses my first year in real estate here. I had a little bit of experience with open houses. I learned how to close open houses. Let me tell you. All right, one-on-one goal setting and business planning with your personal coach. Does everyone in here know who their coach is? You do not yet, because I haven't assigned you yet. Yes, you're good, you're good. You guys are with Keoni, yes? Perfect. And you're with Dan?
Dan.
Okay. All right, by your side all the way through your first 3 transactions and beyond. So your coaching contract, just so you guys know, is actually a 1-year contract. So you get your coach for a year, even if you close your first 3 transactions within your first, I don't know, let's go shoot for the moon and say 3 weeks. You still get your coach for a year, okay? That's how our program works. So we're there for you. All right, we also have that private Facebook page for information and social sharing. That's the other thing we're doing with the coaching Facebook page is we're actually putting things and saying, share this to your social media, right? So we're giving you collateral to share. That's part of what's going on that Facebook page. All right, and then we have monthly PC events, learn, create your tribe, and win cool stuff. Any questions? There are no bad questions. All right, so what is my coach's number one job? I'm tired of reading. Christine, will you read the
Help me do the right activities to get into production as soon as possible.
Yes, Cherish, will you read the next one?
Help me find the resources I need to help get me into production as soon as possible.
Nice.
Help me understand how to follow the KW model to help me get into production as, I read the same thing, sorry. Help me stay engaged during the instructional time to learn how to get into production as soon as possible.
No, I'm just repeating myself.
Yeah, I was like, did she read this? Wait, I'm sorry, did I read it? I was like, it said it again, right? Yeah, be into production as soon as possible. I read both.
All right, Jordan, read the last one for me.
Help me be accountable to the activities that help me get into production as soon as possible.
Are we feeling a theme?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that confused me.
I think I'm confused. What's the
As
theme?
possible.
Help me.
Help me. Do what?
Everything.
Get it done as soon as possible.
Get into production as soon as possible. What does that mean to you?
Hear me out.
Well, no. So let's not skirt it. Like, what does you being in production mean?
Oh, got it.
Oh.
You did
It means mom will go get paid,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like, you guys have probably invested some money to get your real estate license. You're joining RAM. It's going to cost you hundreds of dollars, right? Like, this is not a cheap business to get into. So you're like, escrow, give it paid, right? So that's our job, is to get you paid as quick as we can. Because, you know, going 6-9 months without a check is not an easy way to live your life. I don't know, maybe some of you are good with that, but we'll get you paid. So do what we say. You'll be good. All right, what are my coaching commitments? Marcus, will you read it, first one?
Show up to all my coaching sessions on time and ready to work.
Yes. Now, let me clarify something for you. The moment you don't want to walk through the door and talk to your coach is the most important moment to walk through the door and talk to your coach, okay? We are not your parents, we are not your teachers, we are not going to scold you, we are going to help you figure out why did you not want to walk through that door. And it's usually because you didn't do something you're supposed to do, right? You're like, I don't want to tell Nicole I didn't do that. Well, let's find out why, and let's work on it for the next time, right? Make sense? Okay. Matthew, will you read the second one?
Yep. Show up to all my coaching sessions with my laptop, my phone, my notebook, and any relevant paperwork.
Please. Bring everything with you. By the way, the coaches, we would rather you show up with the blank 135 that you were supposed to work on as your homework than not bring it at all. Because we'll just work on it in your session, right? Like, bring your stuff with you and be ready to work. All right, Jordan.
Commit to finishing the work my coach gives me and be prepared to bring it into my next session.
Excellent, thank you.
Follow the 40-hour session cancellation policy whenever possible.
Yeah, if you guys can let us know as soon as possible if you need to change the session, just let us know, right? We know things come up, but more notice helps.
Respect my coach and their knowledge and trust that they have my best interest at heart.
Yeah, translation, do what we tell you to do. I'm kidding. You're gonna be a part of creating your business, right? It's gonna be your business, your style. Marcus's business is gonna be Marcus's style. Jordan's business is gonna be Jordan's style. That being said, if you read the MREA book, there's some models that have been proven over time. Like, real estate is a long time business, so we know the models that work and we know some things that don't work. So just keep that in mind. I promise we're taking you down a good path. All right.
Be professional, courteous, and honest with my coach at all times.
Yes, and which one's the most important?
Honest?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I will take honest over professional and courteous all day long.
Yeah.
I don't care if you yell at me, just tell me the truth. Right? Okay, good. We're on board. We're on board. All right, so we're gonna start talking about real estate, but I wanna give you guys a break. So, potty, get a drink. There might be coffee in the main room. Yeah, and if anybody had any questions that came up, come see me. But
Call
take-
Ram.
Take 5 minutes. Oh yeah, call Ram. Call Ram. That's a good call.
Not really, but if all of these are gonna call it, then.
think that's what one
So is this
Restrooms.
There's not, so the key's right there, and then it's right over here.
Morning.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
It, yeah, follow Jordan, you know where it's at.
Paragon.
So let me see.
That's probably your RAM member number, because that's your NERS number.
Nerds.
Yeah, NRDS, they call it the
That's a
NERS.
long nerd number.
They are long. Well, that's, cause that's Realtors Association, so that's national number.
Oh.
That's why that makes it really long, it's cause it's a national number.
Yeah. Hi, I am a brand new agent. I need to register with you guys.
Christine, remind me to check on that conversation. I'll ask, Michelle
About, wait,
about the buyer.
The buyer, yeah. I had that in my head.
Buyer's disclosure.
Cause I was interested in it, so that's why I remember that point. And then I was like, oh, so I can't just go look, if I'm interested in myself, I have to let them.
Well, you can just say that. I mean, I would tell them anyway, I'm looking for myself.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was a bigger deal than just saying that.
No, because a lot of people do investment properties around here too, so it's not like it's playing your hand.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had in my mind. I was like,
There's a lot of agents that are investors and they're always looking, they're like, no, I'm looking for myself.
okay.
So.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna overpay. Yeah.
Maui Paragon,
Yes.
members portal,
Mhm.
members only, RAM, that's all the same.
So,
Login.
yes, that's your.
That happens with
Members
Maui.
portal, yeah, that should be all of them. I go to the Maui.Paragon.
They're gonna call us back.
Whatever, Maui.Paragon.
Maui, not Paragon.
That's the one I go to automatically.
Okay.
They're gonna be like, what you do at California? Those people are calling us and bugging us.
Get them in there, get them in orientation. So it's RAMaui.com for the RAM.
Yeah, but there's like 4 or 5 again.
Yeah. Did you do this? Fill out the RAM online and then they call you back? You just call them. Fill out the paper first.
Paper.
Yeah, there's an
I don't know,
application.
I don't even know what I have for breakfast.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be me.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So-
great news.
And you and I are meeting after class today, yes?
We are.
Perfect. How have things been going for you?
Good. I've been very fortunate to, basically be invited onto the Dean Auto team. So it's only very small, it's like just me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he doesn't really
He
have
doesn't
to.
have it, he doesn't
I
technically
love
call it a team, so he's a little
He's so funny, I've been buzzing him.
renegade. He's a, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better situation.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Dean, don't you think I should get some business cards for some of this stuff? I mean, cause we kinda hit
He's
it
like,
off.
nope.
He's like, here's some leads on Follow Up Boss. He said, I'm like 20.
He's like the
already-
chillest guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, our personalities work perfect. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
figure it out, let's do
Yeah.
it. He's like,
He's super chill, and he's like, I've been bugging him, I'm like, Dean, will you teach a class? And he's like, what do you want me to teach?
could be luxury.
Literally anything.
Yeah.
You know, once you get to know the company, you're like,
But
Dean Auto
he's
teaches
really, he's
you
really
what?
transparent. He's like,
Oh,
dude, I don't even know how escrow works. I've been doing it for 30 years.
He's so
He's
funny.
like, I just have someone else handle it. I'm like, well, maybe I should take these classes for both of us.
Well, and you know, it's funny because, I mean, I'm a huge proponent of a transaction coordinator.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like,
Get it.
you'll be using my transaction coordinator, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no,
I
we
was
have.
like, well, I still wanna know what's going on. He's like,
Well, it's
That's
good
good.
to know, like, my first two, I was gonna do my first deal by myself, and I ended up doing my first 2 deals by myself. Oh my gosh, that was such a mistake. I should have done one and let the TC do the other one. I remember I was in California, it was Christmas, I had hired a TC, it was the first time I had hired a TC. It was
Oh,
late,
yeah, I did
it was later in the day, but they were here, so she texted me something, and I'm like, hey, if you could do that, that'd be great.
yeah,
And I like closed my eyes and I opened my eyes and it was done, and I was like, yes, I'm loving the TC.
yeah. Well, I'm supposed to talk to you about their time commitment and stuff,
About the what?
our time commitment.
Okay.
So maybe I can get him to do a class if you let me miss a class or 2 or do it.
Oh yeah, no worries. We can work that out. No, I think he's gonna do like a niching your way to luxury class.
Yeah.
Cause that's what we talked about. If you get him on the right topic, he'll just,
Oh, he's a checkbook.
yeah, he is. He's this like, well, I don't know, how many millions in listings does he have right now?
150.
150 million in listings
What
right
are you
now.
guys talking about?
Dean Otto.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
He's just so
okay.
funny.
Chaotic.
He's just a funny dude.
Yeah, so he doesn't call it, well, he's like, call you whatever you want, but yeah, you call me a partner or team, whatever. Yeah, I mean, he's just so
He's
chill about
just
it.
like whatever makes it work. So if it works hard.
Like, hey, thanks.
He's a funny guy.
And he's finally, what's funny is that he's just now taking advantage of like technology and lead generation and stuff. I mean, that's kind of where we're learning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I'm learning with you, so.
Good. Keep him on the ball. Keep him on the ball.
He might even have more than that.
Huh?
I said he might even have more than that. It's a lot,
I don't know.
whatever it is.
He's got a lot going on, but no, he's such a good guy. Again, he's one of those guys like anybody can just be
Yeah,
like,
he's
so
a-
how do you do this? And he'd be like, oh, I do this, this, and this. You know, he's totally open to share. All right. Oh, Christina's son. I'll be gone in a minute.
Hey Nicole, how do you find the caravan from Fidelity app
Which Fidelity app are you on?
investments?
That one's different. So, is it the one that they gave you?
I don't,
You have to get it from Mercy. So it looks like this. She actually gave me 3. But it looks like this. Got a couple of them. So one with her face. This is the one that has like all their documents and stuff. And then it's got the caravan online input, caravan schedule. Yeah, cause weren't you texting me about that?
yeah,
Yeah, she has 3 apps. She also has the agent one, which is the closing costs. You do for buyer or seller.
okay.
I go right on this one's one of my favorites. Load, here. So you just put in the price, the down payment, you can figure out buyer and seller closing costs approximately.
Okay.
And then she also has the title 1, 2, 3, which I can look up a buyer or seller. I mean, like a ownership on a property
Oh,
when you're on the go, which is pretty cool. All right, let's get started. You guys ready? We all on our phones? Yeah, phones. All right. So welcome to real estate. Your whole new career. So these are just some valuable terms to know. Time blocking, you're gonna hear people say time blocking. In fact, there's a class called time blocking. Does anybody understand what time blocking means? Okay, explain it to me.
Scheduling and sticking to your schedule.
Right, so blocking your time, like, you know, lead generation, time off, food, workout, right? These are blocks of time. So you're gonna do time blocking. Calendaring, that's just getting organized in your calendar, calendaring all your activities, including your personal time, your social time, your vacations, right? Like, people who are really good at this do like their year calendar and like break it out, and like, my calendar's insane. Colors, right, because you want to be able to glance. Look, what's the best calendar you can possibly use? Okay, any other guesses?
I'll use the standard,
Standard? Any
no,
other-
but like
Right, a written
a
one?
written one.
Yeah, any other guesses?
One that works.
There it is! Whichever one you'll use, that is the best calendar you could have.
Could
I'm
tell
like,
them
I
the
don't
trick
care
question.
what it is,
I was gonna
just
say, let's just get to the.
whatever you'll use. Like, I love my Google Calendar because it's got the colors and all that stuff, and if I write, I lose track of everything, but yeah, absolutely. All right, so the grit factors. Anybody ever read the grit book? Okay. Do you guys know what grit is?
Determination.
Good word for it. It's that, you ever meet those people who they just keep going and keep it, and you're like, how do you keep going? Like, I would be bored out of my mind right now. This is my husband, he has the most grit of anyone I've ever met. I'm like, shiny object, shiny object, shiny object. I have like a 2 level on the 1 to 10 grit scale. It's bad. Like, I'm, confession time, bad grit. The reality is, if you have bad grit, you need to acknowledge that you have bad grit and go, okay, I got bad grit. But I can get better at my grit, right? And that's why I have an insane calendar and it's all colored, and it's like, that keeps me focused on what I have to really be working on. My one thing that matters, right? So be aware of your grit factor. It's just a great conversation. It's a good book. Lead generation. What's lead generation?
Making calls to get business, making emails and stuff to get business so that you have new business and not just old business.
Yep. Lead generation is any activity that generates leads for real estate,
So you're
right?
10-4.
The other 10-4? Yeah.
Those-
Yeah, exactly. So here's what I want you guys to understand. You're not selling a 1995 widget that you can convince somebody to buy, right? Like, you're not gonna call people and convince them to buy real estate. So stop trying, because that is not what we are doing, okay? What we are doing is we're having conversations so that we are top of mind when someone's interested in buying, selling, or investing, right? This is top of mind. So Keller Williams, we're really big about showing up in value, right? Showing up with value, showing up in ways that we are helping. And then when it's time, they go, well, that's the natural person to help because that's the person that's been helping all this time, right? That's how we want to run our business. Does that make sense? Okay. Sphere of influence, SOI. Also, well, so there's a difference. Sphere of influence is the people who know you, like you, and trust you. Okay? Know you, like you, and trust you. So Mets are people you know. Notice, they don't yet like you or trust you. They may like you. They probably haven't learned to trust you yet, right? So what's the difference between this and this?
One has a relationship built already.
Yes,
One is like
absolutely. And what do you think builds that relationship?
a conversation.
Conversation over time.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why we implement things like we have a DTD2, which is a breakdown of the people to call in your database, and you can actually follow the system and you're telling everyone in your database
And
once a
so
quarter.
that will help us with what the conversation is supposed to sound like?
No, it's
Like,
not the
what-
scripts. So here's the great thing. We give you scripts,
Yeah.
and the reality is you need to be real in your
It has
conversations,
to be
right?
organic.
That's why you're gonna work a lot with the FORD, which is the family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, right? Like, the reality is these are people you know. Why not ask them about their lives? Not to mention lives result in real estate, right? I mean, that's the reality. So we're gonna teach you scripts around conversations. These are natural conversations. That being said, we also have scripted conversations for like, hey, I'm brand new to real estate. So how many times have you guys got on the phone and you wanna express something to someone and you think, oh, I just totally blew that. Right. I just totally blew that. Okay. How many of you right now can sing for me your favorite song?
Oh, God. You guys all
I didn't
plug
say
your
you wanted
ears.
to
Yeah.
because you didn't want me to hear your voice, but you can, right? You know the words to your favorite song. That's a script. So the reality is you're living your whole life speaking scripts anyway. How good are your scripts? Now, if you can sit here and say, oh, I've got 150 million in real estate listings, my scripts are probably pretty good, right? Dean's got some scripts. The reality is these scripts are very natural for him because it's just the way he talks now, and he's got that accent, which is, everyone wants to buy something from someone with that South African accent. But the reality is you have scripts, so don't kid yourself. The question is how effective they are at this point, right? So you want to make sure that you say things in a professional way. And so we help you with both scripts that are written, meant to be pretty much close to word for word, and then other ones that are more conversational direction. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I don't have a problem. Look, I've been in this business for a while, and I'm talking to a friend, and we're having a conversation. At the end of the conversation, real estate hasn't come up. I go, now you know I'm a realtor, so I have to ask, who do you know who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? And I like say it like that. And then I shut up and I listen. And sometimes they're like, oh, well, my neighbor. And I'm just like, imagine if I hadn't asked.
Right.
Like, last session through Ignite, I was making calls with Celeste. And I called someone, and she's like, oh, we have an offer on our property. I go, awesome. I said, and I'm thinking, like, once somebody has an offer in, like, they belong to someone else, right? But I said, well, do you know anybody else who's looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate? Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, gave me 2 names. She's literally going into escrow with a different agent. I can't talk about her deal.
Yeah.
She's not my client, I'm not looking to steal, but why not ask if she's, that agent never asked her. She's literally making offers and the agent never says, oh, hey, by the way, you know, you're going into a real estate transaction, so the conversation ends up being all about real estate, right? Like, your friends are all gonna know. If anybody mentions it, or if you know anybody who's looking to buy or sell, I'm here to help them too, right? Bet you that conversation never happened. You have to ask. Otherwise, you're just a secret agent. All right, your big why. We're big on your big why in Keller Williams. This is your biggest reason for doing all of this. Right? And the deeper you can get into your knowledge of your big why, the more motivated and the more grit you will have. Because then it's on a deeper level, right? Super important. Awesome. Okay. Would you like to know your job description?
Yes.
What's your number 1 job?
Lead generation.
Yes. Thank you, Drew. Lead generate. Can I follow up with leads if I don't lead generate? I got nothing to follow up with if I don't lead generate, right? Can I set appointments if I don't lead generate? Can I negotiate offers if I don't lead generate? I can practice scripts and effective language. But I can't do any of the other stuff, and I'm not negotiating offers, and I ain't getting paid. So if you wanna get paid, you gotta start with lead generation, right? That's your number 1 job. And it's just not being a secret agent. Just tell people what you do. Why not? And I'm always of the proponent of saying, I'm doing real estate, what are you doing? How can I help you? Right? Create relationships. Make sense? All right. Those are your jobs, and in that order, by the way. Although practice scripts and effective language is part of the whole thing, the lead generate, lead follow up, set appointments, and negotiate offers is the actual order. All right. Can you sell a house today? So are you posted with the DCCA? We already talked about that. So those of you that are, yes, you can sell a house today with a purchase contract. You can sign it. You're official. You can't get to it unless you sign up with RAM though. So you better get on there and get that done. You're like, where do I get that contract? RAM. Okay. So what is the first thing I need to do? So let me ask you this. If someone comes to you, I just want you guys to be aware, if you're having a conversation or someone, you know, hopefully you guys are talking about real estate like a lot. Like this is exciting and you will never be a brand new agent again. Never. This is your only time to be brand spanking new and tell everybody, I'm so excited, I got my real estate license. It posted, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I'm waiting for it to post. and it's gonna post soon. I know it is. Do you want to be my first buyer or seller, right? Like, you will never get this opportunity again. It's the only time. So, what you need to do is, what you need to know is what's the first thing I need to do. So if somebody's interested in buying or selling, what's the first thing you do? Matt, what's the first thing you do?
Right now I'd reach out to my coach.
Thank you. That's a great answer. Reach out to your coach and go, what do I do? Okay? That's the first thing you want to do. Because we will take you in the right steps. And the first thing we're going to do is tell you what to ask them. Because you probably asked them nothing because you got all panicky and we're like, oh yeah, cool, okay. Right? So you need a little scripting there. Like, what do I ask them? Because the first thing I need to know as the coach is some answers to some questions, right? You know that script, don't you? Yeah, right? So it's like, I'm gonna go, well, where are they looking? What's their price, right? All these different things. So we're gonna be like, you gotta help your mom with them. Like, we need to know some information. But you guys are gonna be new, so you're gonna be all excited. You're gonna be like, what do we do now? Call a coach. We'll help you. All right, who's your coach? We already talked about that, everybody knows. Who's your broker? Does anybody in the room know who their broker is? Who's your broker?
Dean's technically.
It won't anymore be.
But Derek.
Yes, it'll be Derek. So once you join a team, the teams are brokered by somebody outside the team. Yeah, so like the 808 team is brokered by Lee Potts, Lee's team's brokered by Todd Hudson. You can't broker within your own team, just FYI. Yeah.
Maybe that's why he doesn't call it a team. I don't know.
Well, if you're working with him, he's not, I don't think Michelle will let that fly.
Oh,
You want
that's
outside anyway,
Yeah.
because
She said Derek looked at all the
yeah,
contracts.
and you want your broker to be, like, you need those second eyes.
Mhm.
There's always something you miss.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you forgot to check that little box. I only filled out 25